huge polished disc looms before you. A mirror, but one that offers no reflection. All you see is a void of endless darkness.
This feels familiar to me somehow. I'm sure I've stood before this mirror before. Many times, perhaps.
Nothing comes to you. The mirror remains a mystery.
What to do? How much farther can I go? At least things have stayed interesting. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Here we go. Very well.
Shadowheart? I wasn't sure if I'd ever lay eyes on you again. It's me, Nocturne. Do you remember?
Remind me?
We trained together. We used to be close. I'm glad to see you're all right.
I don't remember you.
Oh. A pity. Perhaps we can talk some more later? That is, if you're not about to turn on me. It seems you no longer walk in the Dark Lady's shadow.
Shah condemned me. By her decree, you and I are enemies.
Only if you wish us to be. You may not remember, but we shared a lot together once. Good times. Hard times. I will not turn on you, even if it angers Lady Shah.
That's good enough for me. I'm not sure what I expected coming back to this place. Certainly not a friend. There must be all sorts you can tell me. Things I can't even remember.
There are, but with the Mother Superior gone, I don't know if I can stay here to reminisce. Perhaps there's another enclave out there for me.
You don't need Shah.
You don't, perhaps. Not everyone is as brave. I'll leave come tomorrow. Come see me before then. I was working as quartermaster. I can sell you some things to aid you. And we can catch up.
A long way to go still. I'd better do the talking.
I can still scarcely believe it. You've returned, and the Mother Superior is gone. So much can change, so quickly. Well, you had a pet mouse for a while. It was against the rules, of course. You used to hide him under your robes and feed him from your rations. She caught you with Nibbles. That was his name. Forced you to get rid of him. In front of everyone as an example. You always loved animals, but you never let yourself get too close after that. I'm sorry. Not the sort of thing you want to hear, I'm sure. Well, you know that little scar on your elbow? I was there when you picked that up. It was years ago when we were initiates. Some of the others were intent on tormenting us until you showed them the error of their ways. I think it was 6 against 2, and most of them were bigger than us to boot, but you saw them off, all of them. There were some bruised lips and black eyes in the mess hall that night, and from then on they left us alone. Or at least, they bothered us less. Not at all. If anything, they seemed pleased your training was paying off. I never saw the Mother Superior smile very often, but she did then. I think she was proud of you. As for the scar, that was from a collision between your elbow and the teeth of a girl called Budug. She was on the same mission as you. I suppose she won't be coming back. Just small things, silly things. The sort you'd scarcely recall even if your memories were left intact. You had a little hiding place that you went to when you needed to get away. You brought me there sometimes. We'd talk, play, read, do each other's hair. The plait and fringe? Yes, on your instructions, of course. You were very intent on a bold look, I think you said. My hands were cramped by the time I finished, but you were very pleased. I like the new look as well, though. You always did like a dramatic touch. Hidden at the back of the storage area. Luckily enough, as quartermaster, I was able to keep it hidden back there. It should be, well, if not how you remember it, exactly as you left it. Remains to be seen. This place is all I've ever known. In time, perhaps I'll venture out there, see what I've been missing. But for now, old habits die hard. Be sure to get everything you need. Come tomorrow, I'll be gone.
Still breathing, despite everything. Let's see. Something good here, I hope. Breathe deep and move.
Yankee. Part of the Sharan's preparations to seize the astral prism, no doubt.
These jewels. Why do I remember these, of all things? A gift from Solda Nessala, Mother Superior said. Curious. I could never quite tell if she was proud of them or not. These are all about me. 40 years of my life, documented like I was some sort of specimen.
I should speak up.
Greetings. Do you seek to trade?
Still alive, so that's progress. Can't keep me out.
Some manner of opening behind those boxes.
Let's move.
My old haunt. Strange. I don't remember it, but it's comforting to be here.
So that mirror from before was used to steal memories.
That little hideaway that we found in the cloister, it almost felt like I'd found a piece of my childhood. A childhood I don't truly remember. But remember it or not, I felt right at home there. Surrounded by books and night orchids. Maybe. Or maybe I already liked night orchids and I chose that place because of them. The particulars of childhood can grow hazy even if your memories haven't been tampered with. But I felt safe there. I know that much. Well, can you imagine what it would have been like growing up in that place? Endless training, no privacy, facing scorn wherever I looked. I can very easily imagine I needed somewhere to escape to, if I was to survive. Nocturne and I must have come here a lot. We probably had plenty we wanted to hide from. Anyway, I think that little hideaway helped shape who I am, as much as any sermon or training did. Funny the things that influence you.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Birdsong at dusk coming here.
You don't know what it's like to hear music like that again, after so long without. Thank you. Old. I was a young woman when they seized me. Arnel and I hoped Jen would be joined by siblings. But that dream's gone now. And there's a stranger in the mirror. But I still have my teeth. That first apple was worth the wait. Apologies. Even the littlest thing wears me out. I should rest a little. We'll talk soon, Arnel. Oh, I see. Do forgive me.
You've shown great kindness, allowing my wife and I to remain with you. Thank you. I'm glad Jennifer found you. She is strong, but she is also human. The years were harder on her than on me, in both body and mind. Shah's pit robbed us of precious time we can never have back. Whatever we have left, I must make count for double, triple. But later, perhaps. I still need time to recover my strength. Some rest, perhaps, will make me better company.
The heart of a berserker beats in the cleric's chest. Shar thinks this pain is a punishment. No! Pain is a promise that all our enemies' blows have not killed us and will be heaped back upon their heads tenfold. Lady of Loss, I see now, Boo, because she is always losing. Boo is overjoyed with our victory. Another den of evil vanquished, and an old foe defeated. Well, Viconia was a friend for a short time beforehand, but then a foe once more. Yes, Boo, a most wicked witch. The very mention of her name gives him nightmares to this day. Those words are more soothing than the salve Minsk applies to the places the armor chafes. You are a kind and gentle soul. You hear what our friend says, Boo? Viconia is gone for good this time. I am sorry, Boo! I will stop up my clumsy mouth and would tear out my hair if any remained. Boo and Minsk have traveled far and wide, and met many fine and not so fine people. It will surprise you to learn that even the wisest of friends do not always recognize Boo for what he is. Exactly! The Drow was a cruel witch, but a clever one. She knew what Boo was right away, and she had never seen his like before. She wished to inspect his handsome magnificence, and so she did. One night, while he lay asleep, twitching his whiskers in happy dreams, she crept upon his tiny bedroll holding a knife as slim as a toothpick. She meant to spill his miniature guts and study them. I did not get the chance. Boo never sleeps deeply while evil is near. He sprang into action and almost blinded the witch. She had fled from our camp by morning, when Boo told me the whole tale over a breakfast of berries and nuts. Ha! Minsk did not stop her. He did not need to. Boo never sleeps deeply while evil is near. he sprang into action and almost blinded the witch. She had fled from our camp by morning, when Boo told me the whole tale over a breakfast of berries and nuts. You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yes? It is a phrase in the old tongue of Rashiman, meaning blunt blade. Even in the very belly of their battle rage, a berserker must always know friend from foe. A berserker who cannot must into battle with a blunted sword, so that their rage might harm none but themselves. Boo and I, we thank you for your kind words, my friend. But Minsk knows when he has made a mess that is for him and him alone to clean. But still, I will strive to be worthy of this faith you show in me. After all, even a blunt blade can break some bones, is it not so? You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing herbs and soap, yes? How dare you? Minsk pretends at nothing, half the way or otherwise. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. We have. Is it not wonderful? To irk your friend so that she wishes to fill you with some crossbow quarrels, but knowing she never will for fear of hitting your hamster. There is no need for sweet words between companions such as we. Too often those are the weapons of flatterers and frauds. But she who will beat you about the head with the cold and pointy truth, that is a true Wicklaren. So, duty, camaraderie, help in troubled times. What I call the bond of a Wicklaren, you simply call friendship. I think I understand your meaning. Then Jahira is my Wicklaren. And so are you. You are my Wicklaren. And Will is my Wicklaren. And Astarion is my Wicklaren. And Gale is my Wicklaren. And Shadowheart is my Wicklaren. And Halsin is my Wicklaren. And Karlak is my Wicklaren. Or no, Karlak is a berserker, so perhaps Minsk is her Wicklaren? My thanks to you, Wicklaren. You have given me much to think on. And should some enemy knock it loose again, who shall remind me? What is it, my friend? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsk and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsk does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush! Then Minsk and Boo woke on the wide, with stone dust in sensitive places. Haha! Perhaps this is the reason, Boo. It is not because of the legendary thickness of my skull. The mind of Minsk was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then, I was stolen. For Minsk, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then... It is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsk and Boo will not rest. Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough? Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to just Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsk. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsk bravely fend off the seductive vials of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure! Oh, a curious question. Are a child and his father always alike? Take Minsk. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Who could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters? Now, look closely at Minsk, and what do you see? Correct! There are more whiskers on Boo's tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsk. If Minsk did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Baal inherit his wickedness? I have many more thoughts about beards to share. I did not know you cared to hear them. You will grow to like Jahira's incense in time. Like chewing. Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. You hear that, Boo? Your keen skills of observation have not gone unnoticed. Our friend wishes to consult your wisdom. Minsk and Boo are of one mind and one heart. And Boo is the wiser. So small is Boo that he is often mistaken for a pinecone, and many secrets are spoken in his hearing. He will tell what he knows. But Minsk, of course, will translate. Boo has said it is unkind to speak behind the backs of some of our companions, and unwise to say certain things to their faces. Ah, the Great Blade of Frontiers! A fine name. Minsk has no idea what it means, but it suits young Will's air of mystery well. It is good to know the city did not go unprotected while I wore pigeon droppings on the wide. Jahira did her part, of course, but she prefers to scowl from the shadows. The city needs a name, a face, preferably a furry companion, too. Ho ho ho! Minsk would need a title to match. Something to wash away the Stone Lord's stain. The boot of backsides, perhaps? Or... Ay, poo! Evocative, but so crude. I will stick to simple Minsk. Indeed, a berserker after my own heart. Though hers is made of hellish heat, and metal, and some manner of coin-operated device. That it does, and all of the questions that Minsk has to ask are of the pointed and painful kind. But, for all his betrayings of Karlak, Gortash never for a moment bested her. Karlak remains Karlak. Even if all her parts were traded for tin and scrap, Minsk thinks this would still be so. And soon, Karlak will still be Karlak. But Karlak will also be cured. Minsk knows he is right, because Boo is in agreement. And hamsters have no need of hope. What is it, my friend? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty... Boo is ready with the musings. I do not wish to speak of the wizard. I could not have said it better myself. He came to me one night with a little book of mischief, full of words and their meanings. Posterior, he says. Can you say posterior? Pwah, I refused. Minsk does not need to know the language of wizards. It is an inferior word. Far too long to use in a battle cry, which is where a butt belongs. Gale would do better to educate himself in the ways of sword and steel than to throw these pointy words at Minsk. Ah, yes. Gale also owns a cat. A cat with wings. That is most unnerving for poor Boo. Never! If he is not careful, Boo will shred his books and use them as bedding. Who is Halsin? Somehow, such a person as you describe has entirely escaped Minsk's notice. How strange. Oh, the tiny, puny elf with leaves in his hair and dirt under his fingernails. His name is Halitosin. How very unfortunate. Pah! Minsk saw the druid chasing himself in circles and sniffing his own butt last night. He has spent too long as a wolf and not enough as a man. No, Boo! The druid did not beat Minsk at the arm wrestling. It was not a fair match, and he turned into an owlbear midway through, and there was grease on the tree stump. What is it, my friend? Minsk is an open book, with many pretty pictures. Boo is ready with the musings. Ah, well... You have traveled at her side much longer than Minsk and Boo. What is it you feel for her? Much like baby Minsk loved running headfirst into rocks, I'd wager. Dizzying fun, until you are left bawling on your back. Of the drow, I can say only this. She may be treacherous, vicious, and much meaner than she has any need to be, but she is clearly no cleverer than Minsk. She too was duped by the Absolute, and she too seeks vengeance. So long as that is so, Minsk will not judge her. Boo still will, but quietly.
Shar believes us so fearful of pain that we would empty our lives of all other feeling just to escape it. I will admit a petty sort of pleasure in watching Shadowheart make the goddess look ill-equipped.
Shar sought to rob Shadowheart of her family, of her true nature. But no more. Now the healing can begin.
Our young cleric would have us believe she has found joy now that her parents are free. I see her grimace when Shah racks her soul, though. And I see the doubt in her eyes as the pain causes her to doubt the path she has taken. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? He would despise me if he had the wits to understand me. But as long as he believes we have a common cause, he does not see beyond that. I enjoy his simplicity. Oloth help me. Sometimes I almost envy it. I am not so sure. As we saw when he acted as the Stone Lord, Minsk is a dangerous tool. A powerful weapon without a mind to guide it. His righteous rage has been directed at my people in the past, and it can be as brutal and merciless as any act committed by the Drow. Fortunately, for now, he punches wherever we point, and serves our needs well.
Shadowheart did what was right, knowing she stood to suffer for it. In so doing, she proved what it means to be a hero.
No one's stopped me yet.
Shadowheart looks so happy, doesn't she? She seems, found. In a way she never seen before, even when she was most devoted to Shar. Her folks must be so glad to have her back, and to see who she's become. I don't know what I was expecting. Something beyond real. My life would have been so different if I ended up working for her instead of Gortash. Looking after these kids. Making a difference. Maybe in the next life.
A privilege to witness such a reunion. Shadowheart deserves to have her family restored, when Shar has taken so much from her already.
Credit where it's due. Shadowheart is tenacious, and tough pain can break anyone. But she bore it well, and got what she wanted. Even if she's damned herself to a lifetime of that same pain.